threats to Hamas itself, and they're rounding up those threats and publicly executing them as well. And there could be some leaders of clans and stuff like that that they're rounding up as well to make a statement.
Tense exchanges between the candidates for Detroit's next mayor. I'm Dave Kinshin, bringing you highlights from a big debate coming up.
Michigan Central Station behind me is making moves. Trains are returning. People are excited. I'm Lauren Edwards in Detroit with all the details coming up.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 10 starts now.
Detroit mayoral candidate, City Council President Mary Sheffield and Reverend Kinloch facing off in their first televised and perhaps only debate of the year. Good evening, everybody. I'm Reverend.
And I'm Taryn Asher. Just 20 days to go before voters head to the polls and determine who will take over for Mayor Mike Duggan, who is running for governor. And Fox News' Dave Kinshin was there tonight. He's now live in Detroit in the New Center area. And Dave, they took some jabs when they could, that's for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Oh, yeah, absolutely. This was, in many ways, what political observers expected to see in terms of a face-off. Let's go right to the video. We'll tell you all about this. This taking place at WXYZ TV's studios in Southfield. The Reverend Solomon Kinloch and City Council President Mary Sheffield trading bobs for a solid hour on crime, education, neighborhood development, with each accusing the other of not being truthful about their experience levels and resumes. Sheffield questioned Kinloch's lack of experience in government and says he was a no-show at many community forums around town, and we did see that ourselves when we covered that early on. Kinloch retorted by saying Sheffield and her team expect Detroiters to, quote, his words, kiss the ring of power brought on by what he calls Sheffield's privilege, being a member of a prominent Detroit family. One of the key issues that came up was crime. Both candidates talking about what they would do on crime, with violent crime already at historic lows, according to government data. Listen.
We've had historic record lows of crime in Detroit. In just this year alone, we've seen a reduction in all categories of violent crime compared to last year. We know that one life lost is still far too many. I believe in a comprehensive and holistic approach to public safety that is rooted in strong partnerships with our law enforcement agencies and our community. I will ensure as mayor that we are investing in prevention, more year-round youth employment for our young people, ensuring that we're expanding our community violence intervention work, that we are launching the city's first ever Office of Gun Violence Prevention, and that we're investing in intervention, expanding community policing efforts, boots on the ground in our neighborhoods, and also our mental health co-response as well.
This is not a time to take a victory lap, particularly when you're seeing mothers and fathers sitting on the front row of a funeral and they are living life in reverse, because no parent expects to have to bury their child. They expect that their children are going to bury them. And while we've done some great things, and while our council president have done some great things, they're not good enough, and they've not gone far enough.
Would you like?
Yeah, I think what we don't need is someone who consistently calls out the problems. We've heard not one solution in his response to how we can address the issue of public safety.
Detroiters deserve two things. They deserve safety and they deserve justice. And the reality is, anytime you have a department that's grading their own tests, you're going to have a problem with the fudging of the answers.
Okay, so where does this all go, especially when Kinloch and Sheffield were both asked about whether they would accept President Trump sending in the National Guard to deal with crime? Keep in mind, violent crime is at historic lows according to city data. Well, the council president said no, she does not want the troops in Detroit. She said that the only federal help she would look for would be in terms of funding for community violence programs to deal with gun violence, programs that already exist. She says she wants to expand that. And there was a similar answer coming from Pastor Kinloch as well. He said no to what he called martial law. 2 News.
Yeah, Dave, voter turnout is obviously everything. She's really depending on those who showed up for the primary and overwhelmingly voted for her. Kinloch looking for those who sat the last one out, who didn't vote at all, to show up. That's the group that can make a difference for him.
Yeah, and really the congregations, of course, he has a huge church in the city, in the area. There's that, and he's really courting, I think, a lot of the other members of the faith community to get the word out as well. And Sheffield says that, you know, she's putting in the work. Both candidates say they've been putting in the work, and they've been meeting with community groups. And honestly, real quick, it's been hard for all of those candidates, and both of them, to get to all of those community forums because there were just so many during the spring.
Well, it's a large city with a lot of people who have a lot invested in that city. It'll be interesting to see how the next 3 weeks play out. Dave Kinchin for us live tonight. Thank you.
Well, new video tonight of the moment a Macomb County businessman pulls down his driveway and is ambushed by a gunman. Well, this happened yesterday morning outside the Macomb Township home of Eddie Jawad. Nearby cameras capture the gunman you see right there stalking through a neighbor's backyard, hiding then eventually between two cars after he hopped that wall, and then waiting for Jawad to leave. The moment he spots right there Jawad's SUV, he opens fire, unloading more than a dozen shots. Jawad is now out of the hospital and is expected to be okay. The gunman is still on the run.
Heard the gunshots and saw him jump the wall and run out to his car, and yeah.
What did you think when you saw all this?
Blowing back that this is happening over in Macomb.
The gunman was last seen running to a getaway car parked in front of a neighbor's house, which then took off east on 24 Mile Road. Well, it feels like fall has settled in, but will it stick around this time?
Yeah, that's a big question. Let's check in with Weather Authority Rich Luderman. And Michigan just surprises you every time.
Yes, we were in the 70s a few days ago. It is cooling off out there right now, but high pressure builds in, giving us quiet numbers and quiet conditions for the rest of tonight and for tomorrow for Detroit and Traverse City, Saginaw. Looking good. Check out the daytime highs today. 64 for us. We did have some clouds and morning sprinkles here. 59 Saginaw. These are the afternoon highs. Here are the current numbers. 45 in Port Huron, 54 for us, 47 in Lansing. How about some great live shots from Chicago O'Hare? It's all quiet around the Windy City as well. We're going to get down to 39 with mostly clear skies, and then it does stay rather chilly for the next couple of days. How about a good chance for some wet weather Saturday night into Sunday? We'll show you that in the 7-day coming up in 20. Roop Taryn, back to you.
All right, Rich, thank you. Plans are moving forward to bring passenger trains back to Detroit's historic Michigan Central Station.
Yes, a new $40 million transit hub could soon connect buses and trains all in one spot. And Fox News' Lauren Edwards is live in Corktown with more on the governor's big announcement today. And this is really exciting, going back really to the roots of Michigan Central.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it feels like we were just yesterday, almost just feels like we were out here for the grand opening, and then there was the announcement about the hotel. Now this major announcement today. So definitely Michigan Central Station on the move. Let's get into the details and just take a quick look at a rendering of what it's going to look like when these trains return here. Now, again, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, MDOT, City of Detroit, and Michigan Central Station have agreed to a memorandum of understanding to create a transportation hub on the campus, committing $40 million to research and engineering of the project. Now, get this. The station is not the stop. It's not the actual train stop, but it's on the campus, and they say it will be in walking distance, and there will also be and serve as a bus stop. Now, the Amtrak line will be an extension of the Chicago to Detroit Wolverine line. It will go over to Windsor and onto Toronto. And guys, this announcement has been creating a lot of buzz.
I'm super excited to see trains come back to Michigan Central. Even if they're not going to actually go right through the station, it's really exciting to see that iconic piece of Detroit be a part of transportation again. From 1913 to 1988, hundreds of thousands of people would come through, that would take the train from all over the country to Michigan Central, and that was our Ellis Island. That is where people came to get to enter Detroit.
I want people to know that this could be here sooner than they expect. We are hoping to have passenger rail start in late 2028, which is in perfect time. It lines right up with the opening of our hotel in 2027 and the anticipated start of the Detroit City Football Club Stadium, which is just our immediate neighbor, also in 2027.
So late 2028 is when people can expect to actually see the passenger train and get on them. And coming up on the edge, we're going to talk about how it's connecting actually to Canada. Reporting live here in Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
A bombshell report by Politico exposing racist, sexist, and violent messages exchanged by leaders of the GOP Young Republicans organization. Coming up, the youth chair of Michigan's chapter of the organization is in Studio C responding to the disturbing chat leak. That's next.